You can do it if you believe you can. Hi, everyone. Let's take a look at number 6 on page 38 for grade 12 calculus and vectors. Number 6, for the function f of x in the graph below, determine the following. Part A, find the limit of f of x as x is approaching to -2 from the positive side. So step 1 is you have to know how to read this before you can find the answer. So again, to say this in a sentence, you're finding the limit of the function, which is everything in blue in this graph, as x is approaching to -2, which is right here, but from the positive side. So positive side means the right-hand side. So my assumption is you have a left hand and a right hand, and the positive side means you look at this function from the right-hand side. So from your right hand, you can trace the function anywhere, for example, here all the way to the number -2. And you want to find the corresponding y value. And in general, there are two cases. Either you're going to find a number, or it might approach infinity, negative infinity, which means it does not exist. So again, if I do this in one step, I look at -2 from the left-hand side, from the right-hand side, and the corresponding y value is exactly 0. So for part A, the answer is going to be 0. Part B, find the limit of f of x as x is approaching to 2 from the negative side. So in this case, I'm looking at the number 2, but I'm approaching it from the left-hand side. So this negative sign, again, means from the left-hand side or from the negative side. So you take your left hand, you trace the function. You can trace it from here all the way to x equal to 2. Now remember, the y value is going to be 2. So again, in one sentence, the limit of the function as x is approaching to 2 from the negative side equals to 2. Part C, find the limit of f of x as x is approaching to 2 from the positive side. So again, in this case, I start with x equal to 2, and I'm approaching it from the right. So I take my right hand, I'm tracing the function all the way to x equal to 2, and I'm trying to figure out the corresponding y value. Now, here's an additional note. In the row of limits, sometimes you see these dots, sometimes you see the circles or the hole or the cavity. It doesn't matter. Remember, limit means you're almost there, you're never there. I'll say it again. In the row of limits, when you're approaching to a certain number, you're almost there. You're not really at that point. So it doesn't matter if it's a dot or a circle, it's the same approach. So again, in one sentence, if you want to find the limit of f of x as x is approaching to 2 from the positive side, the corresponding y value is going to be -1. Part D, f of 2. If you translate this into a sentence, it means when x equals to 2, what is y? When x equals to 2, what is y? So I go back to the graph, and I can see there's a point, 2, 2, which is part of the function. So when x is 2, y equals to 2, or you can say f of 2 equals to 2. I hope this makes sense.